but it helps keep that casual atmosphere until contact starts, and then people snap back at attention, you know? But anyway, let me get rid of the goat cam. And hopefully Barb will fix himself. Don, thank you for hitting that prediction there. And we are in the round, so, you good, Barb?
Not quite.
Yeah, your mic's still having a weird issue. I'm sorry about that, bro.
No, thank you for telling me. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yep, right now. Do you want me to speak over comms? Because I'm going to go over the round information and stuff if you started streaming. Otherwise, I'll keep quiet.
I'm still on my intro. You can do your thing. I'll let you know if I can get this fixed.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even understand a word of that. I'm sorry to say, bro. Anyway, I alienated people because of the bully? What do you mean by that, Yasuhiro? But I appreciate it, Don. Anyway, that's good to hear since I literally dusted off the game. Haven't played for about 2.5 years. Yeah, Dale's, a lot has changed. But anyway, let me cover this round and then we'll talk about stuff like that. So, give me one moment. We're going to go over the mission briefing. So, I'm going to try to mimic Dream's comedic voice, or I don't even know how to call it, the movie voice. So, here's my best run. Ready? In a background where the Cossack conflict continues. Nope, still screwed. After the Russians' Pyrrhic victory taking the Ukrainian FOB, they have rested and gathered reinforcements for their assault on the United Air Force Airfield. Wait, U.S. Armed Forces Airfield to the north of their new position. Area of Operations, Ukrainian Cossack, Conflict Part 2. Note, OPFOR fortifications have been disabled. I would still suggest packing some explosives, though. Mission rules. If it seems like you shouldn't be on top of something, it's probably because you shouldn't be on top of that thing. That's a note because G-Legs was on top of... I think they're using the same compound, right? Yeah. So G-Legs got up here. He wasn't supposed to be up there. Ooh, they left the Huey because this landed last time right here, remember? That's a really nice continuity thing that they added. I like that. So they still have these two positions. Basically, the U.S. is going to be doing a counterattack. They also left the BTR Rex in place as well. That's really cool because they're trying to make a campaign for the scenario. So I do appreciate that they left some of these vehicles here. They also blew out parts of the towers that were destroyed last time. That is so cool for making a campaign. I mean, it makes total sense, right? That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. I do like that idea. But regardless, let's go over our mission info. So BLUFOR, I believe, are the attackers here. No, they're the defenders. My bad. So OPFOR are the attackers. We're going to go ahead and look at their unit information here. So it's just the EMR camo. Loadout's going to be AK-74s with your standard Russian stuff. So RPKs, PKPs, RPG-26s, the T-5000 sniper rifle with the AKS with 45-round mags, or the AS Val for the two recon shooters. One is Falcon, one is another guy. And then aviation, either get the submachine gun, the PP-2000, or the AKS-74, which is the carbine version of the AK. Nothing on the CSW, no data for assets because there's no vehicle assets. I'm going to quickly just go over BLUFOR's gear. Actually, let me look at map settings. So, they did say originally they were supposed to give thermobaric rockets to OPFOR, but I think they pulled that out last second. So, BLUFOR and OPFOR have similar MAT protocols here. So, BLUFOR get AMAZ with just AT rounds and an RPG with an AT, but mostly HE rounds. And then OPFOR get AT rounds, but also an RPG with AT and HE rounds. And notice that they get a little more AT than HE. More AT than BLUFOR's. But that's just more of a balancing concern. But BLUFOR's stuff, uniform, is going to, I think, be the Ukrainian stuff again. Yep. They're going to basically get a mix of AK-74s and M4A1s, so 5.56 and 5.45, RPKs, PKPs, T-5000, you know, the pretty much a mirror match, except they're adding an M4A1 in place of some of the AK-74s. So that is nice to see, but otherwise, let's go ahead and look at our roster. We don't actually have a lot to go over this round because they don't have any assets, but it's going to be Jib Style leading the attack with Bacon-flavored Ivan as his platoon medic. Kabaya is going to be leading the X-Ray group with Tiger and Spiky being the 2IC and medic respectively. Lolo taking the sniper rifle with Sam taking an AS Val and Seismo also taking an AS Val. I'm going to be honest, I would have probably gone for the AKSs in this round as well, because the AS Val is a much better short-range weapon compared to the AK-74. Simply because the 45-round magazine with the range of the AKS
would kind of outperform the AS Val, because the AS Val drops off after a few hundred meters, and well, these are really open areas here on the BLUFOR AO. I think they also added a runway here, but it's glitching out on the floor because they accidentally lowered it a little too much, so that's funny to see. But I think that's Finn jumping around. Yep. Yes, he is. He's now glitching the heck out because he's doing the enhanced movement circle glitch, which I sometimes like to show off. But I think the AKS would have been a better choice, but we'll look at BLUFOR stuff later. Regardless, Vagrant going to be leading for Alpha with Rab, Green Shade, Band, Chow, Chaos Twins, Captain, Arcane, who is on the multi, by the way, Mimi, and Rinse and Repeat. Noteworthy there is Bant with a PKP. He's a very good player. I would say one of, if not the best player within FNF, so we'll see what he's able to solo pull in Alpha HQ. Night Owl, aka Mr. Sexy Voice, leading Bravo with Shepard, Eric Muniz, Kablooey Face, I always butcher his name, Banks, and Daff under Bravo 1. Bravo 2 has Artisan Despo, Shrimp 2, Space Cowboy Carl, Otta, Korvac, and QSX. Some of these guys play in OFCRA as well. I always find that noteworthy because I believe if you play in multiple different communities, you get multiple different perspectives, and you're able to be a better Arma player overall. Charlie HQ seems to just be all of Charlie merged into one group. So we got Chadwick, Jake B, SBD, Doubt Centurion, Iron, Johnny, Doubtless, Jens, Ryu, Hive Noon, Sharp, Booga, Bacon, and Zeest. Interesting range of names there. A lot of them new, though, which is great to see, at least for the EU in today's NA branch. A lot of new faces in, and I hope they stick around for quite a while, because it's always great to see, or great to have new blood within any PvP event, because it brings in new people, new ideas, new strategies, and it keeps things fresh. And that is why I like covering this stuff. We got 10 Lopes, Solid, Sacramento, Dareth, Zombies, and Waldo under Delta 2. Bravo HQ soloed by Mountain and then Kiri and Hamad in two separate groups under Alpha. I think that's just a roster glitch because people have merged together, so they just haven't joined the merged groups yet. Looking over at BLUFOR, we got Pierce commanding. He is one of the guys in FNF that commands all the time. Wouldn't say the top commander out there, but he has his good mix of wins and losses. Thomas being his 2IC. We got Wise taking the X-Ray group with Naders and Falcon, I believe, being the suppressed shooters. Let me check Naders. He might be the marksman, actually. Yep, so he's the marksman. Ilbanek being the actual team leader here because he has the symbol in his name. So does that mean Wise is the other suppressed shooter? No, he is going to be the TL because he's got the grenade launcher. So Falcon, I think, is going to be the only suppressed shooter here, and he is rocking the AKS. Yep. Again, I would make that call because he gets the 45-round magazines. He gets the range where the AS Val would otherwise drop off after a few hundred meters. So he'll be able to kind of outperform his OPFOR counterparts, in my opinion. The only areas I think the AS Val would be of good use are the forests, but again, this AO is just too open, and I don't see Recon pushing in and hitting these objectives themselves. They're going to be on the outskirts and picking off from afar with these open hills. So good call on there by Falcon. Otherwise, Alpha HQ led by Anderson, head honcho of the NA branch for FNF. We got Cosmonaut, Poe, Miller, Cyrus, Wheaton. As I said before we got into the round, we have 2nd MRB, 29th ID, all the Milsim and semi-Milsim communities under BLUFOR right now, as well as Scandi Recon. So you're going to see names like Bridges, Warwick, Wiki, cool. Then give me your Milk, Loki, and Patriot. They're, I think, from a different community. But Nielsen, Montgomery, Carlson, these are all really good players, mind you. I'd say the above-average breed. And then we've got members of Scandi here under Delta 1 and Delta 2. One thing I have noticed, though, I'm not seeing any Papega player bleed over from the EU branch. And they had a massive representation in EU today, and they were kicking a lot of ass in rounds 1 and 2. So, be curious to see what we see with a pretty good roster on BLUFOR, mind you, but OPFOR have the number advantage. So, betting-wise, I'd say BLUFOR, again, has the stronger roster, but OPFOR has the number advantage. OPFOR has the top player in FNF, I would say, and they have a lot of new faces, which could make or break them, to be perfectly honest. We'll just have to see how things go. But regardless, I don't know. G-Leg saying he'd be in, but his internet's down. That is unfortunate, man. I know Barb is having some tech issues, unfortunately, but we'll have to see how things go. One more thing I do want to look at, and I do want to start covering this a bit more often, is maximum view distance 650 meters. So that's going to really limit any of the marksmen in the squads or any of the snipers on either side. And another thing I wish we got under the BLUFOR stuff for the loadout info, I wish we saw what the marksman rifle was. Because sometimes we see OPFOR rocking an SVD, BLUFOR rocking a Mark 11, and we don't see that covered here in the weapon breakdown similar to everyone else. And I will try my best to show you guys an example. Let's go ahead and look at Alpha here. Yeah, so Cyrus, for example, he has an SVD. That's not on the loadout information, but they usually do get marksman rifle. So it's usually the Mark 11 or the SVD. Sometimes it is a Mark 14 if it's a green 4 faction. And I think that's it. I think I've seen a bolt action 7.62 by 51 or 54 rifle a few times, but that's over the course of a few months. So we'll see how things go. But anyway, that is it for the round. We still have 5 minutes before things begin. I hope Barb can fix his tech issues. But yes, I would like to hear what you were saying. I do see that you were mocking me afterward just to bully me, but they didn't like that I was ragging on others. They felt bad and couldn't enjoy my content because what? I was ragging other people? I mean, here's the deal. I've resigned to myself that regardless of what I do while I make missions, I'm never going to be able to please anyone. So I just do what I know the player base is capable of handling. So, for example, RUF Ops, I do a lot of remote controlling and shooting people simply because they are at a level at this point where I can't really do anything else to stop them. So the only way to really make it difficult is to get behind people, shoot them in the back of the head to knock them out, to kind of slow them down, but there's no way I can outright stop them unless I literally start trying to kill everyone vindictively, but there's no fun in that. Especially for the player base, and that's the main focus. But there's other ops where I don't really touch the remote control at all, just because I know the player base either doesn't like that type of stuff, or if I literally pop 2 people's heads, the entire op goes downhill. And I can think of one community at least where that is a thing, but I just do whatever I feel is necessary, and if people don't like it, well, they don't have to watch or play, so. Yadda. They can go find another Zeus that uploads as often as me. Oh, wait. There isn't one. Well, there are people out there. Digby, Remy, Rubik's Raptor. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen Rubik's Raptor touch a Zeus interface, and Remy doesn't really touch one either, but people do. I do like watching other Zeuses.
Here?
Yeah. Try again.
Hi.
Yeah, is it your packet loss?
Wait, is it happening again?
Yeah.
Fucking 1 second.
Hold on. Yeah, you're not having any packet loss. So I have no idea what to tell you.
How about now?
No, you just... It sounds like you have heavy packet loss, to be honest, but you don't have any. So, I mean, just speak a sentence.
The fucking
yes, whatever you just did. Whatever you just did. Yes.
That's good?
Yes,
Okay.
that's good.
Alright, whatever. It's some virtual audio cable driver something or other.
Gotcha,
some software thing that's some reason it's fucking up.
That's unfortunate.
So, how much have I missed?
Not really much. Just a matter of BLUFOR has Scandi and a lot of the Milsim communities. OPFOR has a lot of new people, but some new mixed in with the old. It's infantry only. OPFOR has a 10% numbers advantage. They said that they were going to have thermobaric rockets, but they took that away last second. Both sides have HE rockets, though. It's a 3-ad sector with a little bit of custom build-up on the airfield. However, the mission maker lowered the runway he made a bit too low to the point it's doing that texture glitch thing because it's sharing the same space as the actual ground, so flying over it gets a little messy. It just says you got disconnected from the server.
Yeah, that froze at some point, so
Gotcha.
I'll have to
Alright.
relaunch. Nothing's
you're
going
fine.
well for me tonight.
Sorry to hear that, bro, but Yeah, just infantry only. You're not going to miss much because it's still going to take them like 10 minutes to get into position too. So take your time. Yeah, so saying your voice mod virtual audio cable probably shit the bed. So
Something like that. But when I through the local monitor, like through voice mod, it's fine. So I don't know. But hey, as long as it works now.
I know there was a Windows update over the past few days. Maybe that screwed it, because I know the Windows updates would always murder my virtual audio cables, which is why I don't use them anymore. So
this literally just happened like right now. I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's not your fault. It just happens. It sucks. Sharky.
Otherwise, round has begun. Barb just mentioned a shark, so I think he just got eaten by one. Hopefully, he'll be back in time for the rest of the round. I know, I'm just messing with you, buddy.
Thank you.
So both sides are actually pushing units out. BLUFOR pushing units out in all directions. OPFOR looks like they're going for a more unified approach, but based off of the vectors the units are going, we'll probably see a pincer maneuver from the south and the west, but BLUFOR also pushing units down this way. Now, if these vectors continue, OPFOR could then basically pick off some of these isolated groups, punch through them, and defeat BLUFOR in detail, which basically means BLUFOR separates themselves so much to the point OPFOR only has to defeat smaller groups of enemies compared to what the BLUFOR's total strength is. And by getting those firefights and having easier times of just steamrolling smaller groups, they'll eventually steamroll everyone. Thus, you defeat an opponent in detail by engaging those smaller groups or smaller parts of the army instead of the entire army at once. Usually you see it done in terminology with a smaller force attacking a bigger force, but it can really go either way, and we see that happen a lot in FNF, and that usually does screw over an entire side because of the positioning of units. But I get why BLUFOR is doing this, because they don't know where OPFOR is going to come from. But at the same time, if there's no vehicles, all you really need to do is just put out your scout team, put them in a wide berth, and then find where the main opponent's lines are, and then redeploy your infantry accordingly to halt those forces. BLUFOR doesn't really have a lot of room to do stage defense lines either, and pullbacks because of all the open area here. But it looks like Alpha for OPFOR is taking fire by BLUFOR Alpha.
Yeah,
that's Cosmonaut
going out.
But I think we're just going to see a push basically from the town into the airfield. So we'll see how that goes. With this map, it's just going to be a lot of forest and open fighting. BLUFOR weren't allowed to make fortifications, but they can always dig trenches as well as utilize some of these wrecks that are all around. So we'll just see how things go.
Yeah, Cosmonaut throwing some really good GLs over towards Red 4 Alpha. So much they're popping smoke to try and give themselves some concealment just between the shooter and them.
So they're my chat saying your hertz are mismatched in your audio control panel for voice meter.
Chibi made a really good pun saying that it really hurt. It really hurts to hear him to hear me talk through that.
Amazing. Yep.
And then people started complaining about the pun, and he said, "Well, I think it was a pretty sound pun."
Wow.
Like he's doing good. He's doing well.
Carrie's in my channel. He's part of OPFOR for Alpha, and he's just said, "Just my luck, Jesus," because he's the first one to die in just that obscure firefight as Alpha now's for BLUFOR just pulled back to a secondary position. Oh, that's gotta suck, Carrie. Sorry to hear that, bro.
It's actually like really interesting how this is developed in this early part of the game. Like this is a pretty decent lineup. I think BLUFOR really are in a good position here.
So
they just lined up the defenses 1-to-1.
Yep. The only issue here is OPFOR has the significant number advantage because BLUFOR's only been able to do this with about half of their force. So now instead of a 10% numbers advantage, OPFOR in this specific fight is going to enjoy pretty much a 30 to 40% number advantage across the board, which it's really going to be putting pressure on the BLUFOR players to perform and get really high KDs before they themselves go down to even have a chance at evening these odds.
Well, they do say that for a frontal assault, you want about a 3-to-1 ratio of soldiers attacking versus defending. So for it to be a 2-to-1, might not be. It is definitely an advantage. Don't get me wrong, but statistically, it should be something that BLUFOR is able to overcome. Well, whether they're actually going to overcome it is another thing entirely. That requires coordination. Whatever assets they have, you said that both sides have those HE rockets, so that could be a real game changer, especially with how close a lot of Red 4 is grouping together, moving through this city. If whoever's Mac gets gets eyes on a good cluster of Red 4, that could take down a good 3 or 4 and wound another 5 or 6 if he's lucky. That's how close these guys are sticking together.
Speaking of, we do have Iander on the westernmost group. I believe it's going to be Scandi Recon I'm seeing here who are doing this aggressive charge into the town to attack OPFOR's left flank and pretty much pin those forces before they can develop more into the town. I am seeing OPFOR units going down, or at least getting unconscious here. We do see that it's a mix of not just Delta, but also X-Ray members. And this Grenadier attack is actually forcing OPFOR to pull out of this area and actually pull south. Interesting. So Scandi aggression doing really well for them, but I'm wondering if this main force is now going to go up the town and potentially overwhelm Scandi, because this is a lot of force to push up here. But if anyone can turn the tide, it would be Scandi with some trick plays from explosives and Iander with HE rockets.
Yeah, we've already seen Scandi get up on the roofs of some of these buildings. If they were to get up on this roof of this green and red building right by the bus station with great eyes down the main road going through town, and that'd be an amazing crossfire for either the marksman or the machine gunner or the rocket man, Iander, with those HE rockets. Now a lot of them have already crossed the road though, so they're going to need to be careful. But if they do spot them, they would have good angles on them if Red 4 just charged through that open field. So it's just a matter of...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a matter of Scandi being told this information from the surrounding elements and coordinating with them. But go ahead.
So Scandi's only worry right now is now getting flanked from the east as they pursue targets to the south. OPFOR does have the time and manpower to close onto Scandi and take them out.
Yeah, and he just went down to a nice shot from Red 4 X-ray lead, Kabaya there. Great shot.
I'm a little worried about OPFOR's Alpha because now they're going into a position where a lot of BLUFOR are around to fire on their position, so they could potentially get cut off as the rest of OPFOR sweep this town to try to eliminate this one element. So we just saw Barrage. That was Iceberg, who I guess has joined Scandi for the NA branch tonight. Firing down, gets a second kill with that PKP. And he's going for more.
Yanni as well. But this could be an issue. This is going to draw some attention.
Nemesis coming up close, getting to a firefight with Boga, takes him out, quickly tries to pull away as he's under fire from Sharp, manages to get away. Both of them trading grenades. Boga's unfortunately going right next to his buddy, or Sharp throwing one on his buddy. He gets crippled by that nade.
2 grenades right on top of Booga Sugar.
Oh, and Nemesis gets taken out by some marksman rifle shots by Johnny. Here's the issue with Scandi. They are very good at going in and flanking opponents here, but if there's too many opponents to flank, they'll, in their flanking maneuver, just run into more bad guys head on and get taken out. So that is what I was worried about with this major OPFOR force coming up from the southeast, and we are starting to see a few Scandi elements get cut down because of it. Now, I know Scandi is very aggressive with these types of plays, though. I doubt we're going to see them pull back in this type of scenario. You still have NAFs running around to the south trying to find the rest of where that OPFOR force went. Iander is with that formation. He's in the back line, though.
Yeah, he was bringing up the rear as well as the rest of Scandi pushed into this town.
Sorry, I got nailed,
I don't know if it's
broski.
the alcohol slowing him down or if that's by design.
I do see Dobbs working on Yanni here, but OPFOR is starting to push around. Now we do have Nafs, though. He is running around. He might catch these 2 OPFOR guys out of position here. They're looking away. Could walk right on top of them. But I think he's seen some other elements moving back into the town. Scandi is now in a bit of trouble. Looks like they are doing a pullback maneuver here. That's going to leave.
Another BLUFOR go down over by Nafs. Nafs is pretty much cut off, and so is Dobbs and Yanni.
So now with this force right here, you still have Alpha pinned in the other side, but that's going to prevent BLUFOR from sending any units further because of that OPFOR Alpha element there. So these guys are pretty much on their own. If the rest of Scandi wants to pull back, they are going to have to pop some pretty significant smoke grenade presence here and pull them back. But I just saw Iceberg get another kill as he is spraying down. OPFOR gets a second kill right there too. That's at least 4 confirmed kills for Iceberg as he is now pulling away, really utilizing these open areas to his advantage.
That big 7.62 by 54 round of the PKP coming into work here. Very nice. More of a MMG than an LMG in my opinion.
Oh, definitely an MMG.
It's nice. Oh, and Iander does have the RPG-7 ready. He's looking downhill.
He's got an HE rocket loaded too. He's waiting for a good opportunity to use that.
Right at Banks' position. If Banks stands up, or if Iander, well, he's looked away from it now.
Yep.
And hopefully he doesn't backblast Whiplash.
I'm a little worried because over to the west uphill, you do have another OPFOR element coming in.
I think Iander might have spotted something. No, not quite. That grass just getting in the way, barely.
They're definitely looking for that opportunity, but Scandi is out of maneuver room, and they don't have a lot of good positions here. They could easily get encircled on this one spot. The trick is going to be if they're able to take out enough OPFOR to make the difference.
Oh, here we go. We're going to have a bit of contact here as Cats.
Yeah, he's going to spot that one guy for Bravo HQ. Starts engaging.
You got to spare that one for that. There
Takes out one.
On the wall. That chimney.
Yeah, that chimney giving him a little blind spot there, but also hiding him from potentially getting shot at from that other angle.
That's a perfect piece of cover for that corner. But not from that angle.
Yeah, that's the west I was worried about.
Yeah,
Iander now going to check that direction. He's got to be careful. But you got 10 loops and Waldo flanking from the force. That's a good call.
He's looking in the direction that contact was called. Probably.
Yeah, it's too far, too high up in my opinion, though. Nav's completely out of position back here on this tree. I don't know what he's waiting for.
He was part of that really forward group that went out, and he's the only survivor, but he needs to pull back to Dobbs, who's still working on Yanni.
Another guy knocked out by Iceberg. That is 5. Grenades landing right on that rooftop where Cats was taken out.
Yep.
And Dobbs is still working on Yanni. You see Iander now taking fire from the north and west here, as they now are trying to pull away. Now Scandi's only option is to push back deeper into the town now that they're getting cut off from the forest element, and you're starting to see them make that maneuver. But a lot of that OPFOR force, it's really lost its cohesion in terms of movement. Now we're starting to see them rally and push up, but we need to see people like Nafs now come in and try to get these flanks done.
A lot more Red 4 pushing through to the northwest of Krasnostav. They're really trying to organize and take out the rest of Scandi. I don't know if maybe they check the dog tags or something, but once they start recognizing who's fighting them.
Iceberg suppressing. Iander has that RPG loaded. Great HE shot. He takes out the rest of the guys back here.
Jeez, yeah, that's one.
Despo flanking them from the rear, though. He gets a double kill, and it's just down to Iceberg now. As
shots came from.
Yep, Despo double taps Iander there, and Iander disconnects.
Oh, savior there. Whiplash helping out Iceberg. Wasn't really aware.
I didn't even know Whiplash was right there, to be honest. He blended in so well. Iceberg now firing into the tree line there. Gets another knockout and a kill.
I mean, of course, Whiplash knows how to use nature to his advantage.
Another knockout. Iceberg on a roll here as he's racking up these kills.
With that huge group, essentially another squad of Red Force charging into this side of town. I think his days are numbered.
Yanni, Dobbs just got found and taken out, unfortunately. He was still doing medical to Yanni. I think all eyes are going to go to Iceberg at this rate. He is in a little cubby area doing some quick medical. But OPFOR's entire cohesion has pretty much evaporated, and looking at the numbers now, it's looking a little more even in the long run. I think Scandi has kind of done it here in terms of evening everything out.
Yeah, the
BLUFOR GC is not dead. He's still all the way back there. OPFOR GC is still alive. Iceberg taking fire from the wood line there. He's going to come around.
Ice got another.
He's going to run right into this guy. Takes him out.
He's a medic, too.
Free medical. Whiplash also starting to fold in. But Iceberg, he needs to be quick on the move here. He's got a lot of dudes in this town. That's, I think, his like 8th or 9th kill, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe even 10. He got another one up on that hill.
Ooh, cuts through the building just before. Yep.
Oh, but he's on the chase. Oh, direction. Oh, you gotta love it.
Yep.
You gotta love it.
Iceberg finds someone else, takes him out.
That's gonna leave Whiplash.
Whiplash running around. He's trying to run away. I think he got 1 kill there, and there's someone trying to follow him.
Yeah, it's the same person.
Iceberg just turned around, fired up the street. Oh, and he finally gets taken out by Shrimp. Shrimp fried
Whiplash.
Iceberg's rice.
Whiplash takes down Shirley.
Gets another one. Dude, Scandy's racking up the kills, mainly Iceberg, but good God. I mean, again, I think Iceberg got in the double digits there for kills. Like, that was great to see. He had multiple double kills, multiple single pickoffs. But I mean, other than Curie in Alpha, I'll give a skull count as, I mean, we still have Nafs, and Nafs came around on the western side. He's popping grenades right on top of Sacramento's position.
Yeah, this is Red Fort Delta 2. It's been decimated now. Only a few of them still remaining, and 2 of them up way up at the peak of this mountain. That's going to be Spiky and Lolo. Lolo going to be the sniper, actually, for Red Fort X-Ray.
All right, so I'm going to quickly go over. So this was all Delta 2. So Nemesis, Iceberg, Cats, Nafs, Dobbs, Yanni, and Whiplash were the element on the far left here. Now, X-Ray was in here. So Kabaya, Tiger, and Sam have died. I know Bant, Rinse and Repeat, and Carrie were over to the south there, so I'm not going to consider them. But we have Doubt dead in town, Johnny dead in town, Jen's dead in town, Booga dead in town. I'm actually going to do a head count. So that's 3 in X-Ray. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Also consider some of these guys might have died to Southern things, so I'll check body position. So I won't count Doubt because I don't think Iceberg got him.
Naps gets taken out finally, but
So-
Whiplash is a sole survivor and Krauser's
I know he at least got Gens, though. So maybe he did get Doubt, too. Actually, no, he did get Doubt. This was the first double kill Iceberg got. So that's 3, 4, 5. Not Doubtless, he just died. 6 for Gens, 7 for Booga, 8 for 10, 9 for Sold, 10 for Waldo, 11 for Korvac, 12 for Artisan, 13 for QSX, 14 for Eric, because he charged up. This was the second one he got. 15 for Daff, 16 for Night Owl, and 17 for Muniz. So that's 17 kills between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, and Whiplash is still kicking.
Yeah.
So they went 10 kills above their 7. So here's the really crazy thing about it, guys. That is a usual round for Scandy. That is how they perform on the average, and that's what's really terrifying. They are the community within Friday Night Fights that gets the highest kill counts. Closely followed by Pepega, but Pepega usually doesn't play both branches and has full of a force.
I think someone is at my door. I will be right back.
All right. See, now you have Whiplash. He's making his way to Platoon HQ as well. Oh, he could snipe Platoon HQ. He could hit Jib and Bacon if he continues on that vector, which would just add to Scandy's kill count. And just looking at the rest of OPFOR, I mean, OPFOR's pretty decimated here. BLUFOR was sending some forces over to flank. Let me guess, is that Falcon? Nope, that's Maz and Wise flanking around on the side. Falcon is far behind, but he has been ordered to go. But I don't think OPFOR now have the numbers to win because of what Scandy just did. And I've been saying this: Scandy in an urban environment or a suburban environment, give them the room and they will do work. I think the command structure for OPFOR was fine. They did a great job of trying to take the town, but they were fighting a force that is literally trained to do its best work in an environment like this. So I will admit, Yanni didn't do too much. Most of those kills were from Iceberg, to be perfectly honest. But Whiplash got a few good licks in. Iander got a few good licks in with that HE rocket. Nafs was getting a few good licks in. And I mean, Whiplash could keep going. I think he's just stuck on medical. But if he goes down here, we could see that 17-man kill count increase. And I will keep track of it. Otherwise, Alpha 1 is flanked over. We saw one lone OPFOR guy. He is now down. The force that was going to come up and overwatch the hill, as I think the main OPFOR force was going to push from this direction. This force flank on the side. That's all falling apart because, well, they lost 17 men in this town to a group of drunk Scandinavians. So, I mean, looking at the alpha flank here, I mean, most of these guys are down or dying right now. They're only, I think, at 50% strength at most. Looking at the roster, below 50% actually, and they've lost some of their heavy hitters like Bay. Now we have to see Whiplash continue on, possibly go up to where the fighting is. He could get behind some opponents, take them out. That 4-man BLUFOR group still going. But, I mean, this has been a great example of why we consider Scandi one of the best communities out there.
Send in Goat Team
Once again,
6
proving their worth.
now.
Mizzard, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this round of FNF. Exactly, BJ. They play like a bunch of drunk casual players too. That's the thing. But Whiplash here. This is probably the most dangerous scenario you can be in if you are on OPFOR's side, having a few individual players that know how to capitalize on a situation like this. It's just a matter of can Whiplash maneuver to where OPFOR is and start picking them off from behind. His brain's self-destructing? Why? Did he get picked off? No. I see. Yeah, he's just going the wrong directions here. Poor Falcon. Alright, so this OPFOR group, still some BLUFOR over here. One of them just got knocked out. You hear the gunshots, right? So they were hit by someone shooting up there as he was crawling up to the top of that barn. Oh, Whiplash! Jib didn't see him. I think he heard him, though. He heard the footsteps through the rain. Oh, Whiplash is in trouble because Platoon HQ is about to walk right on top of him. No! He did get a kill, though, so 18. 18 kills total for 7 deaths of Scandi. So, I mean, again, just taking the ratio there. All right, so... You got Give Me Your Milk running in here with the PKP. He's got another guy, another PKP gunner who had to morphing himself Patriot. Yeah, I know. You saw OPFOR command getting shot at by another OPFOR guy because they were confused who the shooter was. These two are now suppressing down here to try to pick off more guys. Specifically, I think that's both of them just blind firing. Most are done by Patriot as OPFOR's now coming up on top of that position. I'm going to be honest, OPFOR still has a slight chance, but based off of the open areas they're going to have to push through, I don't think they've got this, to be perfectly honest. Bolt, interesting. Bolt is, I know that name. He's one of the guys I talk to here and there. He's been in quite a few different communities. Sorry, that's just me personally moonlighting there. This BLUFOR force down to 3. We've got Shepard over there. Sparky going on her own. And Falcon, I think, is just really confused right now. He's just triple timing back and forth. I don't even know what Falcon's thinking. But yeah, OPFOR trying to push up with what remains. Explosive going off. Didn't get anyone. See a little bit of blood, though, so maybe it did some... Oh, yeah, no, it did some damage. Rave Master getting knocked out as another explosive trap goes off, further halting OPFOR's advance. Now, BLUFOR, I think, are going to use that to get away. You can either use explosive traps for 2 reasons when you detonate as OPFOR's come in. You can either then immediately force a counterattack, or you can use the distraction to pull back. Using it as a counterattack is really risky, and I would almost always never recommend it unless you have direct eyes to see the effect of your explosives. Usually just use them to pull back instead. Got some long-range bombardment from Space Cowboy Carl there.
Keep it, but remember to breath, man. You've been busting your puppy.
No, not my puppy, no! Oh, Deuce, thanks for the resub, my man. I do speak fast about this. There's just so much you gotta cover, you know? So I try to keep all that going, but thank you for reminding me to breathe. Thanks so much for the resub. Hope you enjoyed the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of the scenario. Yes, so Whiplash was able to get one more kill before he was taken out, which brings the final number to 7 deaths, 18 kills for that entire group. So, good job overall. They almost got their own guys to friendly fire their own commander because it was Platoon HQ that got him because he just happened to open fire. Whiplash happened to open fire as I think it's Jib style commander was near him, so he walked up to where Whiplash was, but then OPFOR started shooting at Jib, thinking he was the guy shooting at him. But overall, I don't think OPFOR's got this. They've just lost too many numbers. They're too disorganized. Even though they still have their ground commander up, there's just no one to really receive those orders because I don't see any of the squad leaders alive other than Zeus.
I know I watched Bravo and Charlie for Red 4 leads die. So let's actually take a look. Yeah, Alpha lead's dead as well. Charlie lead. Actually, there is Zeus. He's still up.
So
I think he's like the only one.
I saw that. Yeah, the only one with the
LR.
slash in his name that could potentially have an LR. But
Yeah.
it wasn't just in the town where OPFOR lost a lot of guys. They pushed some guys further back, and that one Alpha 1 for BLUFOR element on the Northern Forest took some guys out. Alpha 1 for OPFOR, when they went into those few buildings towards the east, immediately got shot at from like 4 different BLUFOR positions. And then the southern part of the town, or excuse me, in our orientation, the eastern part of the town started skirmishing off with forces to the northeast and started taking heavy casualties. Mainly as they and Alpha to the south also tried to push in with a smoke charge. They were quickly repelled. And now it's just a matter of everyone, like, I don't think BLUFOR has enough, or excuse me, OPFOR has enough to keep things going.
No,
Falcon
they don't-
is...
they don't have the personnel or the organization to do so. So we do see some small-scale organization.
What's the
but
Falcon doing?
What is the Falcon doing? Let us investigate this.
Yeah, you tell me, what the Falcon doing?
Where is he?
So apparently the C-130, it's the texture that has the dirt on it, and apparently the dirt is glitching Falcon out, and now him and Ilbanek are flying. What the Falcon and Ilbanek doing? And he shoots at the C-130.
Understandable. I thought he could fly, though. I'm surprised he didn't.
Well, he was. He just didn't want to fly too hard, because I don't think he knows how to land. Alright, Cosmonaut just took a magazine over his head. His shooter was Space Cowboy Carl. Looks like Carl got hit a few times. We see a lot of blood splatter there, so he's going to quickly start to bandage. Korvac, you probably should if it's 4 a.m. Bouncing his hind legs, yeah, right? We also saw some explosive traps knock a few people out as OPFOR pushed in, but looking at the numbers, looking at how separated
good.
OPFOR itself is...
Yeah, I've seen Patriot and Norris both out there as demolition guys, as well as Cool Breeze. So they're all watching these approaches. Probably have their
great play by
targets marked
Cosmonaut.
either somewhere in the tree line or among the buildings.
Cosmonaut pushed down to the barn buildings. He found Carl bandaging, took him out with a few shots. Now it is only Shrimp in this compound. Shrimp's a really good player, though. If he waits Cosmonaut, he could pick him off. But he might just not be at the right angle. I think
No, I'm watching his angle.
Cosmonaut just saw Shrimp through the partially broken window. And now Shrimp's going to slowly push out.
He spotted one up in the trees. Good burst. Takes him down with a nice burst of about 100 meters or so. 150.
Cosmonaut hit him in the arms a few times. But now with that... Oh, he gets a great head...
trade.
Oh!
A little bit of lag there, but a good trade.
That was a really small amount of area to get that headshot on, though. Again, Shrimp really good at getting those headshots and those angles.
Yeah, really good fried rice he just made.
We're going to keep making that damn joke. I swear
It's
to
so
God.
stupid.
It's such a
love
good
it.
joke, though.
You gotta love it.
Has anyone died at the airfield? I don't think so. Because, again, BLUFOR's kept the fighting off of the airfield. Now we're starting to see... I mean, look at all these shooters from the airfield here.
Sentries or something, or some of these people who are taking these defensive positions. I'm sure one or two might have gotten domed, but casualties would be minor,
Spirited,
if
not
anything.
Lice, you weirdo.
Speaking of which, Drake. Wow, that is impressive stuff there, Drake.
So, Bravo
the-
2 for BLUFOR is getting blue on blued.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Dark green versus tan. But, tan looks green to BLUFOR.
Oh, this is beautiful. I need you to look at the northwest side of Sector 1. Do you see Drake up on the tower?
Northwest of Sector 1. That would be... Okay.
And the big tower from Livonia. Oh, he just got up.
Sorry, I must have missed it.
Unfortunate. He was... I'll show you pictures later.
Alright, thank you.
But yeah, at this point, BLUFOR, very solid control over all their sectors. Outnumbering Red 4, I want to say like 2, maybe even 3 to 1.
2 to 3 to 1 or something.
Yeah, it's just, that's rough. So like I said, that those advantages, as far as numbers, in a full frontal assault like that, I mean, it just turns into a meat grinder. That's just warfare in general. So the fact that they really, I mean, they gave it a good effort, you know, to their credit, but the fact that they really went for that, and yeah, it didn't exactly work out for them.
OPFOR's plan was solid. I already pointed that out. The one issue, though, is they didn't realize they were fighting a really powerful force, because Scandi is really good at doing guerrilla warfare style tactics in any jungle or suburban environment. So
Yeah,
only a
especially
small
an
amount
environment like this.
of
Oh,
OPFOR
perfect.
were engaging that force at any given time, so Scandi just started massacring them. And only when OPFOR started finally surrounding Scandi did they start getting the kills on Scandi. Because it only took one guy to get in the right position right behind Scandi to start, you know, dealing that 2 kills. And then that disorganized what was left of Scandi, and they were able to slowly get picked off and not be an issue anymore. But it just goes to show, if you have a hostile force in a small AO like this and you have the number advantage, you need to really push your number advantage just to take them out ASAP. Because if you let them fester, they will deal a significant amount of damage. And even though OPFOR had the number advantage in other places for certain firefights, OPFOR then tried to cross the open fields with smoke concealment, and it blew up in their face. Both times they tried it, they took significant casualties, and that was it for them, really.
Bullets go through smoke really easily.
Yep.
Like, it's you know, better than charging through with nothing, but not by much. You want that to conceal your movements, not call it out.
So you got Wheaton with the marksman rifle trying to pick off Hive Noon. And he gets the pick off while he was in a tree. Holy shit.
Yeah, Wheaton up there, machine gunner, having picked up an SVD at some point. It's been trying to target
We got
these guys
Ilbenek
for
with
a while.
Falcon and Dog4. Not seeing Shepard and Banks over on the north. Slight out maneuver of each other. OPFOR are down to, I think, 7 players with 1 unconscious. 2 unconscious, actually, so 9 total, but I doubt those 2 uncons are going to wake back up. And they're fighting about 15 to 20 BLUFOR.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
So
10,
how was your
11,
week, Liru?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's a third right there. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. Yeah, about 24, 25. Weekend's good. Just working. And we're seeing more explosive traps going off to the south because BLUFOR had more prepared. Just gonna spend the evening, do some more editing, get the front logs out, finish up the MCO documentation and the op, and then start prepping the pay for paint next weekend.
Yep, I'm really looking forward to that MCO. I swear the GM assets they just don't get enough love. I know the application
do they
is
not have dog
fairly
tags or
limited
face?
to pretty much what you're doing or variations of that, but it is still a very fun and very well made CDLC. So I'm hoping to get one of the tank commander slots.
Yeah, weird.
Drive a T-55 through West Germany. Sounds pretty fun.
I know I did a test stop last week with tanks only. The players seem to really like
I saw
it.
part of that.
It's just the helicopter pilot was causing a few issues. But I didn't mulligan I mulliganed them because he didn't know what he
Yeah,
was
that
doing,
seemed
but-
more like a player issue
Yeah.
than a role or asset issue.
I used to punish the entire player base for it, but I realized like that's not the point. You know, if someone's just being silly in a certain slot, that just means people could maliciously do that and screw over everyone. So, you know, try to assess if they're being malicious or if they just don't know, and then go from there. Because you know, it's still like a casual scenario. People might not know the consequences of their actions, so I'm not going to punish them for it unless
Group
it's
punishment is against the Geneva Convention.
I'm only going to do it for certain ops where the stakes are pretty high in that regard. But we got a few OPFOR guys trickling over to get the Sector 3. We see that's another OPFOR group. 2 guys over to the northeast are getting engaged. And yes, the little parachute you see with that little thing under it, that is a Hunt IR round.
Oh yeah, they do have those now.
Basically a 40mm grenade that you fire up into the air, and it acts as a camera with regular and night vision. No thermals, though.
No thermals.
I think they have it for the team leads. There's the 15-minute warning.
And they actually,
other
yeah,
group
they-
was
they
just
hit the
spotted.
parachute. Nice.
And yeah, you can shoot the parachute to make the round fall faster when it hits the ground, just despawns.
Good eyes on that BLUFOR group spotting the Red 4 guys as they just peek around the back of this warehouse, or this hangar, excuse me.
So the only 2 people that haven't been spotted is Jibstyle and Grav. Grav being on the easternmost side, Jibstyle still staying on reserve as command. I don't know why. I don't think he can get into comms with anyone because no one has an LR at this point.
Banks is checking the plane,
here's that
seeing
too.
if
Nice.
they're potentially drivable or flyable.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I'm not criticizing. I absolutely would, even though neither of them have any guns on them. It'd still be funny. It's like how they get out of the place.
So Spiky just got a great pickoff on Patriot, knocking him unconscious from a great flanking, if not a rear attack.
Wakes back up though and is going to start to roll off the side of that hangar.
Spiky
More
going for the
shots.
kill. Isn't able to land it though.
Nope, not quite.
Yep, so BLUFOR know that OPFOR is up in this position. We might see Montgomery attempt to breach in a moment. Falcon lead the charge on the northern group. Montgomery just saw that door open. If I was in Montgomery's shoes, I'd be tossing grenades in there and firing GLs. He might go for a breach instead. He's fired at by Dooley.
Yep. Good name.
Good grenade, but Dooley's going to immediately pull away. There is the
Another
grenade. That's going to hurt Bacon. Bacon, like, desynced away from it. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I think he definitely, he looks like he got hurt by that. He's already had some wounds, but looks like he got some more.
Now you got Spiky firing all the way at Montgomery from range.
Ooh, that is smoke. Gonna try and, I guess block off sight into there.
Falcon get into a CQC fight, runs into this building, quickly runs upstairs as Shepard now runs up to fight him, but Falcon gets knocked out.
Nice. But that grenades in FNF don't mix with buildings, well, I think it took a bit more damage. Wheaton getting a
And
nice
Falcon gets double
ram at
tapped.
close range.
Falcon doing the stanky leg, and it looks like he's calling it for the night as his legs do the thing.
Wheaton now pushing up the stairs with a MP443.
Legs doing the thing.
Shepard gets a nice head eyes there.
Oh, I bet Falcon's pissed
And
too.
goes for the
That's
double,
why his
triple,
legs are doing
quadruple
that.
Tap, just to be safe.
Yep. Are you seeing Falcon's legs spazzing right out at the northern side of the building? Like right under Wheaton right now, he's got the spazzy leg.
A little bit. They're just kind of they're shaking and quaking.
Yeah.
It's me
Perfectly
after
dancing.
A good night. When Bloodwing gets the extra large strap on.
Oh, there goes Wheaton. Falcon, how are you in my chat kicking your legs at the same time? Falcon's mad because apparently OPFOR had their comms and they gave BLUFOR orders and forced Falcon's group to follow them, so they just got flanked.
Fucking
Restless leg
based.
syndrome. I know. It's okay, Falcon. Scandy got 18 kills before they died and pretty much saved it.
Yeah, they absolutely won that round for BLUFOR. If anyone were to give them where if any squad or unit were to be given commendations for this, it'd be Scandi.
Do the stanky leg.
Montgomery
I
breached.
saw that Falcon. You were pretty much doing nothing. Ivan gets hit. Jolt coming out the rear.
Bacon had literally just finished healing when Montgomery breached in and took him out. And down the hall, Dooley is distracted, and it gets taken out by Montgomery.
More explosives going off. I'm pretty sure this is settled.
Yeah,
We just have Grav and Jib now.
Dooley did get one before going down, so that is a bit of a sacrifice. But that is pretty much all of Red 4. Yeah, it's literally just Grav and Jib.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, buddy. Grav investigating the source of that gunfire. And now one of the planes appears to have exploded inside the hangar and is floating. I would say flying, but it's not moving. So this is a float. I don't think it's a float plane. Looks like Grav just ran past Carlson, who did not see him. Sablon appears to have spotted him and is actively ignoring him. Grav is now doing the friendly thing, getting fired upon now from across the airfield, and slowly pulling out his rifle, goes down. Oh, that's another shot to the back of the neck, but he's still alive somehow. And he is dead. And that just leaves Jib Style, who is sitting on his ass, quite literally. Now he's gonna push up to the barracks building. Oh, but here's Drake looking that way, a little tunnel visioned. His weapon is actually blocking off Jib Style from view. And Jibstyle gets around the corner just in time, but Patriot definitely saw him. More shots coming in now as that previously friendly group is now no longer. And that is going to be the end of the round. OPFOR is eliminated. Points to BLUFOR.